up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Inside the Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, and do all those YouTube things, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when we put out new content. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you could go to the Facebook page, just search Inside the Vinyl, give us a follow there. I would appreciate that as well. And we do hope to be a little more interactive with that page once everything gets ramped up and the following builds a little bit. So today is November 21st of 2025, and it is the release date for the brand new collaborative EP from Aerosmith and Yungblud called One More Time. All right, so there you go, front cover, back cover. It is a 5-song EP. Let's go ahead and read the hype sticker here. It says Yungblud, or Aerosmith Yungblud, One More Time. The collaborative EP and Aerosmith's first new music since 2012 includes 5 brand new recordings and etched vinyl design. And this is like a clear vinyl. It says only at Target, limited edition LP clear vinyl. All right, so sounds pretty cool. All right, and I'm also very interested to see when we open up this record and see the inner sleeve, if the liner notes indicate who actually played on this record, because I know there's been a lot of talk about whether this is actually Aerosmith or just Yungblud with Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. So either way. But again, here we go. Front cover with cellophane and the hype sticker. And then on the back with a giant Aerosmith logo as well as Yungblud. And then the track listing for the 5 songs. So let's go ahead and open up this bad boy. See what we got. Let's see if I can do this without tearing things up. Hurting myself. All right. That should be enough. All right, I always do the best I can to preserve the hype sticker, so we'll keep that going. And that's not working. All right. So I will say, I haven't listened to really anything but the one song they released from this so far, and I got to say, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So I'm hoping, maybe that I'll like the rest of it a little bit better. And if we're being real, the Music from Another Dimension album they made in 2012, I wasn't a huge fan of. I have it because I'm a huge Aerosmith fan and I'll collect anything they put out. But to be fair, I'm not a big fan of that album at all. We waited a really long time for that, and it was a lot of songs, but only like a few of them, in my opinion, were really all that great. So I'm hoping this will be a little bit better and a nice way to close out Aerosmith's recording career, if it is truly Aerosmith. But again, there we go, front cover with no cellophane, back cover with the track list. And let's go ahead and pull out the inner sleeve. All right, there's nothing else in here to speak of. So let's see. On one side, not really sure what that's supposed to be, but it almost looks like, if you had like one of those like Zoetrope records or whatever it is. And then, of course, on the other side here, we've got the track listing with track names and lyrics and everything else. And let's see. I don't know if it'll really say... it shows, and again, I don't know what to make of this, but it shows everybody on here. There's a lot of extra names and stuff, and I don't know if maybe those are people from like maybe Youngblood's band or something like that, or if his name, I don't know what Youngblood's real name is. Maybe it's Dominic Harrison or Matt Schwartz. It's one of the 2 names I see in here. Somebody can let me know in the comments, or I can just Wikipedia it when I edit this, put this all together. But everybody from Aerosmith is shown on here. I see vocals from Steven Tyler and Dominic Harrison, which I assume is Yungblud. Shows guitar, Joe Perry and Brad Whitford, among other people, including Yungblud. You got bass, Tom Hamilton, and somebody named Matt Schwartz. You've got keyboards with Steven Tyler and Matt Schwartz, and then drums show Joey Kramer, Matt Sorum, Yungblud, Ben Sharp. Now, I don't know when they say, the Back in the Saddle version of Back in the Saddle on here is 2025 mix. I don't know if they took like the original mix, like if that's a remix of the song, and that's why all the original members are listed on here, and they're just not being real clear about the new songs. I'd be very interested to find that out, but there was nothing on Wikipedia that I could see this morning. So, I don't know what to make of that. I still don't know, if the other members of Aerosmith played on the 4 new songs, or if that was just Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and Yungblud. But I guess more will be revealed about that at some point. But everybody's name is listed on it, so we'll call it Aerosmith. All right. But anyway, there you go. One side of the inner sleeve again, and then, of course, the lyric sheet. And let's go ahead and pull out this clear vinyl, which looks pretty fancy. Pretty fancy. All right. So on one side, yeah, look at that. It's like the Aerosmith, or the Yeah, okay, so the logo from the front, like the Aerosmith slash Yungblud logo from the front, is etched into the record, which is pretty neat. So there you go. You've got the one side here with the middle sticker and the track listing and all that. And then nothing really on the other side, so I don't really want to go like put my fingerprints all over it, but I don't know if maybe the etching is more apparent on the other side or whatever. But it does appear you just get the 5 songs on one side of the record, and it's not like on both sides or anything. So still pretty cool, pretty fancy looking. I always like, don't get me wrong, I love standard black vinyl, but I also think it's kind of cool when they do neat things with it, when they put etchings and different stuff in there. So, again, I honestly haven't heard much other than My Only Angel, and then, of course, I listened to a little bit of the Back in the Saddle remix, which I think I've been hearing on a lot of sporting events and football and stuff like that lately, like when they come back from commercial and all that. No, that's not what it was. It was for WWE. They keep using it like for their WrestleMania advertisements for WrestleMania for next year. So I'm assuming that's the remix. I'm not entirely positive, but I have been hearing Back in the Saddle a lot on WWE. So yeah, so pretty cool. My Only Angel, again, I've heard it. It's a decent song. In my opinion, sounds more like just. And again, I love all levels. I love all eras of Aerosmith. But it definitely falls more in the like just push play, don't want to miss a thing, girls of summer, type of stuff. Very pop leaning, very radio friendly, and so, I'm curious on the other 3 songs in it. There's a song called Problems, there's Wild Woman, and there's another song called 1,000 Days. I haven't heard those yet. Hopefully they're good, and hopefully, everything sounds like Aerosmith just with an extra ingredient. So that's all I've got for you this time. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we put out new content. I've got everything else that's on my channel. I won't, give you the long version, but I've got the rest of my unboxing. I've got Lost Classics. I've got live albums. I've got Greatest Hits albums that I talk about. I've got live footage from concerts and festivals. I've got some random disc golf stuff on there, and I've got a couple of short documentary films that I did for school. So check all that stuff out. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.